I'll press the record button and start. So, kind of, sort of, picking up from where we last left off. Deep within Yesterhill, after many tribulations, the party succeeded in reconsecrating the mountain fane of the Seeker. You claimed your rewards and ventured back toward the Wizard of Wine winery for a night of rest and recuperation. Some of you took this time to attune to your new magic items, and some of you took the time to speak with David Martikov and your other allies, seeking to learn and understand more about the Fanes and the ancient deities known as the Ladies Three. As night settles upon the winery, we find ourselves seated by a campfire at the back of the winery. What do you wish to do?
If someone actually wouldn't mind just giving a small recap on what Davian had said about the Thane. I tried to get through it as much as I could today. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, there were at one point in time 4 tribes that lived in this land. 3 of them ended up bowing to Strahd. The 4th one left, and that was viewed as the betrayal.
When you say 4-1, are you talking about the one that split? Because I think there were 3, or I'm confused.
Right, because there was a thing about the betrayal, which was their.
I think understand which one you're talking. It's just like I think they split from one of the tribes. That's it. The Halvar they saw through the lie, so they decided to split.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the 3 Fanes were eventually corrupted by Strahd with the different people's permissions in exchange for protection. Effectively.
Yeah, and there are like 4 points in the land that, well, 3 points that root Strahd to the land, and there is 1 point that connects the 3 points. So it's Yesterhill, how you say, the mill.
Yep, Old Grinder.
Thank you.
The lake, the one somewhere in the lake, and the one in the swamp.
Yes.
I would like to just point out one minor detail. It's not too important, but still. First, the Fanes were reconsecrated in Strahd's image, and then the tribe left because they viewed it as an evil act, a perversion of the way the Fanes want to be worshipped.
And if you didn't read to that far, I don't know if Rictavio or Devian say like Muriel went to the swamp along other spies.
Yeah, I did see that they went and they haven't returned and everything, and it seems like most of the party is for the going to the swamp to see what we can. But I know I'm actually would, well, I would say as Nadia, given that Aya is right that Muriel has, provided aid with us and scouting and everything, it is, something that we should do for her as well. We can't just abandon our allies right now. But I do also side with Jeb that Strahd's invitation will only last so long, and I know him and I also have business in Darkon as well. But
well, I suppose there's a simple solution to this.
Adi and
Swamp.
I have dinner, and the rest of you go to that filthy bog.
Well, I was going to
Oh, no.
say the swamp is along the
You're
way.
getting knee deep in it too.
Yes, and the swamp is between us and Ravenloft, so we'd have to go through or around it anyways.
I hope you're not suggesting we grace Strahd's presence, damnable as he may be, covered in muck water and whatever abominations lurk in that place. Does anyone have the ability to at least clean ourselves?
On the way, we can stop in Valaki for a shower, shit, and a shave if you want.
Nope, my bad.
Hmm.
I'm getting used to
I
this.
mean, we'd
I
have
do
to
have
go through
commentary though.
Valaki anyway. We need to go through Valaki anyway, unless you want to go the long way.
Correct.
Uh,
It also
Yeah.
would be kind of interesting to see how Valaki is evolving.
Yes. I suppose the other question is, since we're going to spend the night here, do we want to read more of that book before we rest?
I am scunnered. If I go in that book, I might not come back out.
As much as I yearn for everyone's, our questions to be answered and to find more information out about the Dark Lord, I just feel I'm not as prepared as I would have been for some of the encounters that we've already faced through there. The magical energy that flows through me is already nearly dried up, and that's pretty much it.
yeah, but some of the memories are pretty peaceful. Last time we went to a dinner. The other time we saw him talk about his mother, and after the conquest. So
That's the thing, though. You can't guarantee what we're going to get.
I suppose that's true.
It is a gamble, and if it's one that we would have our lives with, then I personally would not want to take it. But I do want to delve further into those secrets at some other point.
I would suggest reading, but I understand some of you with frailer constitutions need your rest, and I will not besmirch you for it.
There's the guy that just looks like he crawled through absolute mayhem.
Yeah, like, I'm the skinniest one here.
yeah,
But I'd say your clothes are all tattered to hell and covered in blood at this
Oh,
point.
yeah. Oh yeah, I look like I've been through a meat thresher.
Yeah.
I do
Well
think
then.
most of us have seen better days.
Yes.
I mean, half yous are like lacking in your magical abilities. I would not say it's a relatively good idea to go through all that.
Well. Okay.
Like the trajectory of the story's going, yeah, it just seems like Strahd's going to get more obsessed with Irina every time we go into it.
I do suggest, though, that after we rescue these wayward allies in the swamp, that we hurry off to Strahd's invitation. If we do anything more that interferes with his machinations or annoys him, he might view us less as annoyances and more as a threat to be dealt with. The thing we have going for us is our insignificance, that we might be able to glean useful insight from this dinner rather than an enemy for him to get his full attention.
This is what we do. We hit the swamp in the morning, then we'll go to Valaki, and depending on how long it takes us in the swamp, we'll spend the night there, and then we'll head to Strahd.
Does anyone have any gold that they can spare me once we get to Valaki to purchase myself a new pair of everything?
Well, you do have an expensive taste, Jeb, but I can lend a few coins. But can't get too
I
crazy.
say we buy
with
him
it.
peasant clothing.
At this point, luckily the tome gives me an ability to at least protect myself, so all I need really is just something to look presentable at dinner. Perhaps Lady Wachter knows a good tailor.
Yeah, to get you something tailored is not going to take a day. That'll take a couple of days.
I'll have to wear something off the rack. It's fine. Times of the essence. We all make sacrifices.
That's the spirit, Jeb.
Said we'll get him something like if all else fails, we'll just get him like a potato sack, just cut holes in it. There we go.
I'm sure I can grow something that he could wear. And I'll use Druidcraft to start growing some small plants with leaves. I'm sure you can craft something out of these.
That better be cotton, and you better have the magic to turn that into cloth. Otherwise, I have no idea how that is supposed to help.
Yeah,
It's vines with. It's like an ivy vine.
Yeah,
plant.
please say it's poison ivy. Please.
No.
You don't think?
I'll inspect it. No, not poison ivy. Just normal vines you would find upon the house over there. And I'll point at some of the vines that are on the house and
Grapevines climbing up
And
the
the
winery
vineyard.
walls.
yeah.
Can you fashion a pair of trousers with those? This leg is feeling a bit cold at the moment.
Not particularly skilled with that type of work, but I'm sure you can with this. Treat it as rope.
Jeb will take the vine and wear it as a makeshift belt to keep his torn pants up so he can attach his the frog for his rapier on.
Well,
I'll actually let out a small giggle and just see that it's actually kind of funny to see Jeb just being so what is the word, like I want to say, not like humble, just having to resort, like just basically having to make do.
Yeah, he's definitely not happy, but he's like grumbling less. It's
Well,
useful. It serves a purpose, at least. Thank you, Kiahi. He like chews the words out.
of course. You need a little more green on
Jeb of the jungle.
Jeb's gonna become a wild man.
That's the goal.
He's gonna spec into a barbarian.
Yeah.
Savra is proud somewhere.
What's also, how do you make your icon bigger, like to fill the square? Mine is like small.
I think Tom has to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh
players
yeah,
can't.
okay.
I did it for the sake of fitting everybody into that scenery.
Oh, that's cool.
Now you're like big, Nadia.
Well,
Yeah. I'm an Amazonian princess now. But after the stories and everyone kind of figuring out what we're doing and all this stuff, Nadia will actually, get up from the fire and everything, and excuse herself. Well, while we've all been through such an ordeal today, and with everything, I'm glad we could, help cleanse the land. But I still want to take the time to meditate to still strengthen myself. But if you'll excuse me, I'll be seeing you all tomorrow morning. And then I'm just gonna walk around and
Do you bring anybody
Oh.
with you to assist you with your meditation?
never mind that. No, I'm not gonna go too far. It looks like there's an embankment, like here.
It's a hill rise. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just actually gonna go around the side of it and just kind of like take a seat, like I guess like a little bit beneath the tree, take in the fields and everything, and then I want to take the time to like concentrate. But I also want to, like how I talked with you, Tom, to strengthen myself, and then also focus on like electrical, abilities and everything.
Sure. So, holding the glass orb in both your hands, concentrate upon it. And, even after all your tribulations today, after everything that happened, you still managed to muster a little bit of last Arcana energy to channel a little bit of lightning energy through your fingers, through yourself as a conduit, and into the jam.
In doing so, I would use Shocking Grasp, focusing it like on within myself, and just having like a couple, I guess, sparks of lightning kind of zoom off me and everything. Just maybe like a little bit of a low light from around the back of the hill that could be seen.
That's all going. You can go ahead and do those rolls and see how much you can
Okay.
suffer through before your vitality is on the brink of giving. Every time
Wow.
you are channeling the spell, using yourself as a conduit, you can since it's a cantrip and it's an ongoing charge, we can say it's a cumulative damage. You keep holding the object, you keep applying damage to it. How far do you go, really?
And so that'll take me to 36.
You take half of it goes into the... Oh, wow. Wait, that's 22. Yeah, it's 10
That's a
damage.
22 to hit. Yeah, it's 10 damage. So
10 damage.
I
Half
know
of
what
it
the
goes into you, the other half goes into the object, and I'm saying because cantrip is constant, you can accumulate that damage and just see how far you go, really.
Okay. Whoops.
By, if you want to
Oh.
kind of sit there and meditate till the very edge, it's gonna be a total of like 40-ish damage to yourself, and 40 goes into the object before you're on the verge of cooking yourself.
Yeah, you need company on that, man.
It's it's a total of 33 damage that I would be taking.
Right.
And then I think that gives me 2 charges.
How much of that went into the for every 10 you gain 1 charge?
Yeah, if it's a total of 30, so then I get 3 charges then. But that would probably be my limit for the day.
Right. You test it out. You know, you've been thinking about this for some time and you want to test out the theory. While it is a burdensome task, it works. You haven't felt such jolting pain since your trials back in the Church of... Please remind me what's the name of your god. Sorry, it's not the...
Hybrus.
Yeah, since it's Church of Cyprus, since the trials there, you haven't felt such pain, but even so, the results are in your hands. You can see the orb is crackling with energy and ebbing with this centric glow that spreads out from its center and glows softly, dimly, like a candle.
As that's going on,
Sure.
I'm just focusing on wanting to build like mental fortitude, knowing that this isn't, where our journey's going to end. It's going to get much worse, and in order to get stronger, having the root, taking the damage from this, is to only help strengthen myself.
The orb, not the root. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The orb, but to also, I
Right.
need to be able to be stronger as well.
While this is going on, do the rest of you discuss anything further by the fire? What do you do?
I would have done reduce self, or I would have cast reduce on myself and flown over and kind of hidden a little distance away, just kind of keeping an eye on Nadia, who's wandered off alone.
Sure. You see her sitting there, eyes closed, legs crossed, meditating, and every so often her muscles twitch, convulse as light arcs from her limbs and into the orb. Now and then you can see smoke coming off her fingers, off her flesh, singeing it and as this is going, you see the flesh burn in places, especially near the tips. But her clutch on the orb does not cease. She continues in this meditation, like some sort of a religious ritual, till eventually her muscles lax, and with the glowing orb in her hands, the lightning stops. She takes a moment to kind of like breathe in and out and just stabilize her breathing, all the while her fingers are smoldering and burns are there, blackened.
I like that.
What about the rest of you? Anything else you wish to do before you retire for the night for a long rest?
Well, Brandar would offer everybody a drink if they wanted one.
Cutting in and out a little bit.
Oh, it's if it just depends on what we're doing. Like if if we're waiting on like them, that he would just like hang about, offer everybody a drink of beer if they wanted some.
Sure. You pass around a cask of beer. You're using your alchemist jug there.
Yeah, it's the alchemist jug.
The
And he does
oversized
point out,
multi-spout jug that you tip it to
Yeah,
one side
he
and it
just-
pours out.
yeah, he does point out. Make sure you drink from that one. He just points at the top hole. Make sure you drink from that.
The liquid mayo.
Any of the others, you may die.
Right. Noted.
I will start like a conversation with Davian and Van Richten. So we were able to consecrate the land again, and I think we are gonna try to do that with the other places. But Van Richten, do you know exactly how to destroy a dark power? I don't think.
That depends
Yeah.
on your definition of dark power. What is it that we're discussing exactly? Is it Strahd or something more?
More what took over Strahd. We have read some book that before Strahd fall, like the dark power was in someone else, in something else.
I would very much like to read this book. Perhaps it will give me the insight to answer your question. So far, the most promising aspect that I can see is in our possession, thankfully. The Tome of Strahd holds many of Strahd's secrets, and perhaps within it are the answers you seek. The answers we all seek. Dark powers of Barovia and of the Shadowfell are eternal things. To be truthful with you, I'm not even sure if they can be destroyed. But if there is hope, perhaps it is there. And he points toward the Tome of Strahd. Van Richten has never destroyed a dark power in all his years as a monster hunter.
Okay, I understood that. While we're here, I will share with him the Tome of Ossibus.
I mean, if you have any queries specifically, I can answer those real quick.
No, just for him to read.
He seems to be very much familiar with the cult of Ossibus. Kind of glances through the pages, takes note of the few names mentioned in the rain, but you seem to be confirming research he already has. Appreciates it nonetheless that you shared it with him. If you have any inquiries specifically, I can perhaps answer the questions, but other than that, sure. It'll take some time to study the pages.
Sure. Nothing at the moment. So.
Sure. If you're staying by the campfire, Gahi or Nadia, anything you wish to do before retiring for the night?
No, I did the little fly over. No, it's just watching. I would not approach Nadia. I would just been watching.
I would.
For me, I'm still just meditating.
Sure. I would remind you that unfortunately there's no room and board within the winery this night. You'd have to camp out. Essentially the same as Van Ruchten and Esmeralda outside by the winery. Outdoors. Supposed.
I would say probably after about, like, what time would it be, like, when everyone's having, like, the bonfire outside and everyone's talking?
It's just after dusk,
Okay.
a bit before midnight. Time is going hour by hour. You spend a good hour meditating there.
Yeah, I was gonna say about an hour later, I would emerge again, and just kind of, just like very slowly, like mosey on back.
You
Um,
walk back whence you came, passing by a few of the farming tools. There's a wheelbarrow there, a few caregiver gardener tools there. You pass by two curious-looking, about waist-high barrels with an iron-bound top and bottom. There is 4 of them, you count, as you pass by back to the camp.
Sorry for walking out. I just needed to take my time and concentrate on a few things. I'm sure we're all very tired. And as I say this, I'm kind of like, not like, what's the word? Not like holding yourself, but just, I don't know, kind of like you have like your arms crossed, like, but like at a low.
Yeah, I know
Um,
exactly what you're referring to, but I don't know the
Like-
term.
Goku drip?
No, not like you're like flexing.
Right.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know the body
It's,
language.
it's the slightly sad, in need of comforting yourself, effectively.
Yeah, not like the sad part, but something like that. Where I was just putting my body through a lot. I talking to everyone. Well, it seems like if we want to get a head start in the morning, we'll need our rest. I would presume that in looking to Esmeralda and Von Richten, I suppose here's as good as any, right where we're at. In the comfort of each other. Well, maybe it's still best that we would take watches.
That
Or
would
do you
be
think it would be
wise,
safe enough?
says Davian. I bid you all good night, and I, again, thank you for volunteering. I hope that
Also-
Muriel was right, though I fear that Lana's took her, but if there's a chance, see to it that she's returned to us safe. We'll be keeping an eye on you come tomorrow. Now, if you'll excuse me, these old bones need some resting. And he gets up off his bench, and he's going to go ahead and make his way toward the winery to retire for the night as well.
I'm quite exhausted, so I would prefer to take the first watch so I can sleep for the rest of the night.
Noted.
I will quickly flutter down to him before he can make it out. What are those barrels over there? Those weren't there earlier today, right?
I believe Esmeralda, how did she put it, established a perimeter.
Ah, of course she did. That makes a lot more sense.
Right. Night. And old man is going to go ahead and get his nap.
Yeah, I will fly back up to the roof. How flat is the roof? Is the roof flat enough that I could lie down on it
Ooh, well, yeah.
without?
It's
sliding
slant
off?
enough to slick off rain. You best secure yourself. Have you ever slept on a roof before? On a clay roof? It's rather slippery, especially.
No,
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I was just landing there. It's like,
As you're sitting there, you now and then you have to readjust yourself and kind of like skedaddle back to the center. But once you tie yourself down or anchor yourself somehow, you're probably gonna get a rude awakening halfway into Jeb's night shift.
Yeah, I will flutter back down. Well. Well then.
If Jeb you wish to take the first shift, as your party settles for the night, each with their respective bedrolls or however they wish to sleep, you watch Rictavio and his monkey retreat into his Vardo, the little wagon over yonder, and they kind of just disappear behind as he opens the door and shuts it behind him, and you hear a little lock engage. That being said, Esmeralda is going to go ahead and start setting up her own tent, kind of in the center of the perimeter of yonder, and the rest of the party may kind of set themselves as they wish.
Yeah, I'll set up kind of under this tree, and I'll use some druidcraft to kind of grow the vines a little bit more to create some fake canopy tent thing before tucking into my bedroll.
Sure. Using the faint glow of dying embers, you get a moment to gaze skyward toward the now flickering stars. All goes quiet. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, as you're just trying to keep a keen eye on your party.
2 seconds, almost back at my desk. Baby needed to eat.
Baby
Roll
hungry.
perception with advantage because baby.
It's still a -1 regardless. I'll take the regular roll. Where is it?
I'm just kidding. You roll normal.
I know,
I'm
I
gonna
know.
punch you because baby.
17 regardless.
You're still feeling a slight buzz of adrenaline from the fight at Yesterhill. Even hours later, kind of memories resurface back of the fight, of the battle surge. And that kind of keeps you awake just a little bit longer. Thankfully, as you kind of watch the rows of grapevines, save for a bizarre sight halfway through your shift, you see like a big mass, which scares you at first, a big mass flying across the sky, kind of enshrouding the moon for a moment. But then kind of watching you begin to see that it's composed of many, many tiny little creatures, and you realize it's like a cloud of bats. Enormous, but distant, seeking out prey, coming from a direction of like east, flying westward. Other than that, it was quiet as an hour, 2 hours pass.
I definitely make note of it, but if they don't go anywhere near the winery, he just will tell the next person on watch.
Sure. Who do you wake up?
I'm inside the coin, by the way.
Sure.
So not a. I will wake up Kiahi, who has probably almost rolled off the roof a couple times.
No, he's up in the tree
I
canopy.
moved over to the tree. I tried the
himself.
roof. Was not able to get comfortable up there safely, and so went back to where I normally would sleep.
I do like the whisper yell, like, "Child, it's your turn. I need to rest.
I
I
will
can't keep my eyes open."
I will crawl out and come over to the fire.
Sure.
I cast Disguise Self to turn what I'm wearing into pajamas. Still wearing the crap. I just look at them.
Just
I
imagine
sigh,
like
then
a Scrooge cap,
Yep.
you know?
I love it.
And then he would just like push himself against the tree sitting up and attempt to get what Z's he can. And then as soon as he falls asleep, it becomes the tattered
Just on the
rags he's
cold
wearing.
ground, no blanket, no nothing.
I don't have a backpack. I don't have anything.
I mean, you could potentially have grabbed. You could grab the tent structure that I made over there, at least.
I thought it was up in the tree.
It's just a bush.
Vines into a,
It's
yeah,
just a giant spider-laden bush. You can use that one.
He thinks sleeping in bushes is as uncomfortable as the ground. He might learn otherwise later, but he's just like he's doing his best.
Sure.
He's trying to rough it, but he's not complaining. He's just like, ugh, and then he's exhausted. Like when the adrenaline wears off, he'll just pass out regardless.
Just like that. Gahi, go ahead and roll me a perception check because he's trying to keep awake.
okay.
Have you just woken up from your little kidnap?
Yeah. And while I'm doing that, I'm kind of with half a thought, controlling the flame into different animals and patterns.
The activity of ship-shaping the fire, changing its color, its shape, and all that, keeps you relatively active and awake. Now and then you kind of lift your head up to gaze around. At a certain moment, you can't help but get a little bit distracted with this little game of yours, and you start making like little figurines in fire, like they'll dance together and stuff. And you get like tunnel vision a little bit, and then you feel like something touch your shoulder, which like spooks you, and you look over, and it's a horse. Just one of the grazing horses woke up to graze a little bit.
I will pat it gently.
Yeah.
Is it made out of
You
bats?
should be asleep.
Just burst.
It's substantially bigger than me.
The horse just kind of felt more comfortable near a source of heat, and
Yeah.
seeing the source of fire kind of joined you.
I
You always had that.
will immediately convert let's go with bear that I had before. I will immediately convert it into a fiery horse and have it picture a group of fiery horses running across
Right.
the fireplace.
See a little end spark off the campfire and land near Brander's beard, and kind of like lands near his beard. It's like smolder and smoke up.
Control fire.
Yeah,
Stop
you
it.
can just see Brando's just like laying like across the bench, and he's just like
Doesn't pay attention, and you just kind of like poof it out, saving us an accident. And so, like that, an hour, 2, 3 hours pass, and you start to get a little drowsy again, feeling like you should get some sleep if you are to be effective tomorrow, and regain your arcana and whatnot. If you were to judge just about how much time kind of went by, you would say it's about 3 hours till sunrise. Do you wish to wake anybody up, or just let them sleep?
I'll go ahead and wake up Brander. Gentle shake.
as he surely just goes, what?
Nothing. Everything's been
Just
fairly
gone.
quiet
Just.
before.
Ah!
Everything's been fairly quiet. Jeb saw a large group of bats. I had an encounter with this horse over here who seems quite friendly. But everything's been fairly quiet so far. We've got probably
Alright.
another couple hours before we head out. If you want to take
Alright.
last
You
watch.
get some more sleep.
And
So
yeah.
All right.
Grandar would just like move up and just sit on the chair, instead.
I'm not even sure if you need a chair. You could just use your suit and just kind of like recline backwards and just like fold under you. And it's like, yeah. Chair.
Technically, could yeah.
Go ahead and roll me that
Hey.
perception check. Just kind of see how vigilant you are. You're facing the fire toward the building.
I think he would have turned the chair a bit just so he's like
Sure.
looking more
Just kind
out
of
towards-
sideways between the building and your friends there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to keep awake there. Maybe you'll like light